Hi everyone. I just wanted to do a short video just to say hello. Thank you for the new subs and all of that. I know my channel's kind of been all about the baby chicks right now. They are extremely therapeutic for me, and since it's breeding season, I just kind of wanted to share them with you. The birds are just, I don't know, I just love them to pieces. I do want to give an update. I did put a community post that my monster did receive the advanced parole board hearing. So in the next 90 days here, I should be getting a date for when that will happen. So I'm just kind of going through the motions of preparing my victim witness statement, as well as, saving up so that I can be there in person. The last parole hearing I didn't get to go to in person. It was through audio because, the big C virus chaos of, we're going to stop your life for a couple of years and, all of that craziness that we went through. But now that that situation seems to be over, they are going to allow me to be there in person, which, it's about 6 hours away from me. So it's going to be some travel and it's just going to be some reflection and just it's just going to be a journey. It's going to be another part to, it's going to be another piece to this trauma. And, you know, I'm in the process of trying to heal from it while it is continuing to happen. From my understanding, when I spoke with the DA, so we had a parole board hearing in um, May of 2021. So we're just about 2 years out. And the outcome was that he would have to wait 5 years for another parole board hearing. But the state that I live in, um, they have kind of exceptions to the rules and loopholes and whatever. So if an inmate completes a book, gets a pat on the back and, a positive feedback, they take a class, anything that goes into their jacket, into their inmate file, they can then turn around and request an advance hearing. So although they said 5 years, and they told him, please take the 5 years to work on his rehabilitation, we're less than 2 years in, and he's requested an advanced hearing, and he has been approved for it. So, we just move through it and deal with it. I was told that this, if he does not get paroled this time, that this could be a continual thing. He can do this as many times as he chooses to. So somebody please tell me, where is the concern, compassion, empathy for the victim? I do understand that he has been locked away for well over 20 years, but he is a habitual offender. He has admitted to assaulting, raping 5 women. He was formally convicted of raping 3 women, uh, one which was myself, and the kidnapping was a part of that. Um, a total of 160 years was given to him, 60 years for the first two. And then they connected us through DNA several years later. So I actually waited 12 years to find out who he was and to go through the court process. So he already had the 60 years. And then when we went to court, the kidnapping and rape, he took 50 years plus 50 years consecutively, as well as the 60 years would be consecutively, so 160 years total. And at that time, they stated he would not get his first parole hearing until 90 years old. He's not even close to that. He's in his 40s. And since laws in this state had changed, and they've now stated anyone committing any type of crime under the age of 27 is considered a juvenile, and that their brain was not fully developed. So therefore, they possibly didn't know right from wrong, or whatever. So here we are. We are doing the parole hearings and just moving through the process. The first parole hearing, he wrote separate letters to me, and the DA was extremely concerned. He did not like the way that the letters were written because he had written letters to the two other women as well. Um, they were short and just kind of, an apology, oopsie, sorry. But the two letters that he wrote to me were very detailed and almost like he was kind of reliving it, and it was scary. And even the DA said that he lost some sleep over these letters because he had not seen anything quite like this. One letter is, okay, but then two letters and the length of them. I am going to try and read them to you. So here we go. Jane Doe 1. He did not know my name. He did not know any information about me until the parole hearing. And no one told me that that was going to be given to him. So I was in shock um, when I heard my name said out loud, and I knew he was there. And so I was, I guess, doxxed. I was doxxed by the ha ha ha. I wasn't doxxed, but I didn't know that they were going to give him my information, which is kind of scary. Um, so Jane Doe number 1. I believe this letter needs to be written. I do it with a heavy heart, knowing it brings pain with it. After almost 25 years, you should not have to worry about me being released. Yet here we are. And with it, each horrible memory of that night in June of 1995 when I hurt and humiliated you so badly. The letter is to acknowledge my hate filled crimes against you and to apologize. I am sorry for each choice I made that night, giving you a ride, thinking it was okay to put my hands on you, abusing your trust, fighting you, and finally alluring you for my something destructive desire. No person should have to suffer through the things I put you through, let alone an 18-year-old girl just needing a ride home. I now know that my actions hurt you in more ways than the physical. Through that was plenty in itself. The emotional trauma, the lack of trust, and the psychological pain that lingers to this day. My choice and perverted desires hurt you, and for that I am more sorry than I know how to say. I wish I would take it back and have the right path, but that is not possible. I am in the nightmare of knowing that I destroyed your life, used you with no thoughts or care about what that meant. And today, sitting here, having you relive it all again. I'm trying. So please bear with me. I understand that I am where I deserve to be. I am locked away, protecting the world from the monster I am. At the time in 2007, I saw you I saw you crying in the courtroom, I knew the person I was at that time in my life. At that time, I wanted to take it all back, but I could not. The pleading guilty and re and 50 plus 50 more years was meant to give you some peace, knowing I was paying for what I did to you. But here we are, along with the anger and fear. I cannot go back in time and change into a better man, not raping you. I cannot erase the pain and suffering that I put you through. I cannot tell you something that would make you forget that evil night. I can say I am sorry, but I know that I do not deserve to have that accepted. Nevertheless, I am sorry for each choice I made leading up to and during that night. I hate the person that I was, and I am sorry that you had to suffer because of him. Um, that was letter number one, and let me tell you, it brings up a couple of things that I never mentioned. I never brought up in the hospital. I didn't mention this or anything like that. The biting, some other things. Trust. I didn't know him. I didn't accept a ride from this man. He kidnapped me. He asked me for directions. I made the mistake. It was dark. I made the mistake of sitting down, even with my legs out of his car, and I was writing the directions down. And he drove. And naturally, I picked up my legs. And as I'm picking up my legs, he was closing the door. I never accepted a ride. I asked him to please let me out of the car. I asked him repeatedly, please, please let me out of the car. I'm fine. I'm just going to take a bus. I'm good. And no, no, no. And he drove and drove and drove. And mind you, we had to go through a couple of cities to get where I needed to go. And he went the direction until we were 3 blocks away. And that's when he um, made some extra turns and did what he did. But I never accepted a ride from him. And he doesn't accept that I didn't accept a ride. This letter is written in a way that is very scary to me because he talks about trust and things like that. It's almost like an ex-boyfriend. It is so weird. Um, it's it's terrifying to think that this man may be able to walk out of the prison, and he has already made statements that if he does not take his medication, yes, he does still have the urges. Um, I believe in prison reform, sentencing reform, and things like this, but this is someone who is a habitual offender. This is someone who has even stated he will have urges if he does not do certain things. Um, he looks at that night as though it was, a date gone wrong. It's very, very, very strange. That's letter number one. Uh, let's see here if I can get through letter number two. This will not be easy for you to hear, and I am sure it will bring with it pain and horrible memories from the day I hurt you so badly. However, I feel that I need to write this to accept responsibility that I ran for many years, apologize, and be honest for the first time since the day in June of 1995. To start that evening, you trusted me to give you a ride. No, I didn't. He says, to your sister's house. I don't have a sister. And I chose to take that trust, rape you and abuse you in unimaginable ways. The disgusting fantasy in my head, the perverted thoughts, and my cowardly actions hurt you more than I could ever imagine. I used you to make myself feel better, and there can be no excuse for that, no reason to justify it, and no forgiveness for my actions. Your pain went even further in that I was not caught for these crimes for another 12 years. That entire time, you had to live with the thought that I could have been out there. When the time came to see me locked away, your pain should have eased, knowing you were finally safe. With the 60 years I had from hurting two other women in the same way I did you, years for my actions against you. I should have been here away from you forever. Yet here we are. One new law, and here I am, 65 years earlier, bringing with it new pain for you and the other two young women that I hurt. Not only did I abuse you, humiliate you, and destroy parts of your life, but I also hurt those that you love. For those of you who don't know, my dad committed suicide, and this is part of it because he refused to give me a ride that night, and he held guilt, and my relationship with him was definitely affected by all of this. So, yeah, um, he damaged me. He damaged ones. This is not just a crime on one person. This is a crime on many. This was a domino effect. Uh, Not only did I abuse you, humiliate you, and destroy parts of your life, but I also hurt those who love you and had to try to comfort you after I raped you and left you in fear of humiliation. I cannot imagine your pain, though I have tried. Your trauma, fear, and lack of trust are my fault, and for that I am sorry beyond what words can express. I know that I cannot take away any of this. To try would make it worse. An apology will not erase the pain, but I do apologize nonetheless. That person, coward, that selfish, hateful, evil person, is the one behind many nightmares, and for that I am sorry and I'm full of regret. Your pain, which I craved at the time, your pain, which I craved at the time of those crimes against you, is the one thing that haunts me to this day. However, I deserve those feelings of disgust and shame, while you do not. Once again, I am sorry for every choice that led up to that day, during, and after. Um, Again, he's not taking full responsibility. He kidnapped me. He had a plan. He knew what he was doing. I said no. I said no. I said no. I fought back. Um, and he just got stronger and he just enjoyed it more. And although supposedly I was the first, it's hard to believe that because he was so in the moment with everything he did. And it's to this day, it terrifies me. I have nightmares. He is right. He is my nightmare. He is my monster. That is not going away. Um, so basically, that's my story, and that is where I'm at. I'll try and get into some of the first parole hearing. As you can see, this is like the transcript from the first hearing. It was nearly 8 hours of nonstop, everything from the time he was a child until that day. Um, so there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack, on his side and on my side. I kind of have issues because from his childhood, I kind of see where he became the monster. I have empathy for that child that suffered. But just because I have empathy for that child that suffered, and just because I have empathy for those who are trying to support him, which, we all need support regardless of our actions and all of that. I'm not saying that they're supporting what he did, but they are attempting to support him, which that is their choice. Um, so I have empathy for that. But I do not believe that this man, this monster, this person who has admitted that if he does not take his medication, has the urges to do these evil things again. He states it right there. These are evil, evil actions. So my hope is that the parole board will listen. We'll go through this again. And, he'll have to sit because 2 years, and they told him, like, he really hasn't shown, didn't start to show any interest in rehabilitation until he found out that there was a possibility of parole. So they told him at the parole hearing to please please work on that, like sincerely work on the rehabilitation before he came back. There's no way in 2 years that he did that. I mean, less than 2 years. We were at like 19 months when he asked for the advance hearing. So I think it's emotional. So I think I'm gonna take a break right now. Maybe upload some baby chick videos because they are so adorable. I think I've got 15 in one batch, 18 in another batch, and I've got some eggs in the incubator. So they're going to keep me busy and, kind of help me through all of this. And thank you all for, watching, listening, supporting. Um, Nonsense, Nanya, Kathy P, Ella, T. Marie, T. Kelly, just everybody, all the Islanders, everybody. I mean, I so, so, so appreciate everybody. I enjoyed last night's live on Nonsense's channel, and I hope that we can do that again, make it a regular thing because it's needed. We all just kind of need to let it out. So I hope everybody's having an amazing, beautiful weekend. I am sending positive, loving, healing energy to everybody. And comment, reach out to me. Like, let's get to know each other. I want to open my platform up to others who may want to speak on what they've gone through. So if you're interested, or if you're interested in speaking on mental health issues, like it just anything that you've gone through, anything that you want to speak on, go ahead and reach out to me. I'll open up my panel. We can do something like this, or we can do a live. You know, I'm more comfortable doing a live on a panel. I feel kind of odd doing it just myself. So yeah, reach out to me because I would love to collaborate with anybody. So again, sending positive, healing, loving energy to everybody. Bye-bye.